So I have a list of many cars I would like to own one day. Mainly, you could call it a dream car list. And I've bought quite a few of them so far. Citroen DS, very specific MGB, Pontiac Aztek, Austin Healey Sprite, kind of. And this is another one to check off that list. This is a 2007 Pontiac Solstice, but it's not just any 2007 Pontiac Solstice. This is a very, very specific 2007 Pontiac Solstice that I have wanted for over 3 years. I just bought this thing for dirt cheap yesterday, and I want to take you on a tour of it, show you what you get out of a dirt cheap Pontiac Solstice. The story behind this car here is that an elderly woman purchased this car in 2007 and daily drove this thing for 16 years until 4 months ago, when she purchased a brand new Mazda Miata, and she came up to me 3 days ago at work and asked me if I wanted to buy this thing. And of course I wanted to buy this thing. I love this car. So let's start a tour. So we're going to take a look at the body first of all. Very, very nice design. It looks almost like a Lotus or a messed up Ferrari, I would say. Coming around to the front, yes, we have a couple dings and a little bit of rusty paint, but it's been daily driven for 16 years, I would expect that. This is the worst area on the body right here. It's the bumper cover got ripped open by a semi-truck when it was parked, but simply I can heat that back up, bend it down, maybe a bit of Bondo, or maybe worst comes to worst, just get a new bumper cover. They're not that expensive. Coming down the side, we have this incredible Pontiac swoop right here. I like that. And that's just surface rust. There is no rust on this car. Look at this. This wasn't like the last car I bought, which I think was the Kia. No, it was the truck. That thing was completely rotted out. But this is in incredible shape. Yes, the paint could do with a buff. I think that'll come out quite nice with a buff. Coming around, the rear bumper cover is in really good shape. Really nice. It's got this grille down here, which is in really good shape. Moving around to the passenger side, massive 17-inch wheels, I believe they are. Yes, 18-inch wheels. They are 18-inch wheels. And these are brand new tires that were put on. $1,300 worth of brand new tires. Michelin's. Going down again, really no rust. We have that same paint chipping on this panel right here, but there's no rust. And it's incredible. Now let's get to opening the hood on this thing so I can show you under the hood. The hood has a clamshell type design, I believe it's called, like a Corvette. And it opens like that. And the struts still work, surprisingly, after 16 years. They've probably been replaced. But under here, I'll bring you in for a closer look. Here we have a 2-liter Ecotec 4-cylinder mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, but I'll continue with that when I show you the interior. Quite a nice car. I believe it does need a little bit of power steering fluid because the steering's a bit heavy, but it's nothing compared to, let's say, that over there, that Lincoln. Look at this, though. It's in surprisingly good shape. This is the car's second engine. It's about, I want to say, 5 or 6 years old, this engine. So, yeah, let's take a look at the trunk area now, show you that. The trunk is one thing I don't like about this car, because you got to go into the glove box, you got to pop the trunk here, those fly up, and hopefully, I'm going to hit this a few times because this likes to get stuck. I should be able to lift the trunk. Hold on, we got this. The latch is stuck. So I gotta lift the trunk here. There we go. And now I can get the trunk open. And of course, the rear strut is bad. But back here, there's not a lot of space. I'll take you in for a closer look here. I'm just gonna gently put this down because it's very annoying. So yes, under the trunk lid here, it's a small trunk. This is the fuel tank here. And there we got an air pump, factory air pump with a slime kit. And of course, you have to have your emergency release because, you know, who would be able to fit in here actually to be able to pull the emergency release? I don't know, but the thing you got to do when closing the trunk, you have to close the trunk and then you have to go around and pop the top feet, I guess you'd call them, down, which, to be honest, it's not that bad because you're opening and closing the trunk from that side anyway. It's easy to just walk around. but it's quite nice. This trunk has a very nice swoopy design on it with the backs of the seats. Quite a nice trunk, actually. I like that. And of course we have a radio receiver on the back as well. The interior of the Solstice is quite small, I'll give it that. The steering wheel is a good size for what it is, and I believe they use the steering wheel of the Corvette. It looks very similar. Everything is centered toward the driver, which I absolutely love. You have a grab handle right here, similar to the Pontiac Aztek. Looking through these, we have our climate controls. We have our GM radio, which is very typical of anything put into a GM model at this time, with a 6-disc CD changer, and the CD player with the stereo in this thing does sound pretty good. Right in front of us, we have 3 gauges. We have our speedometer right toward the left. In the middle, we have our fuel gauge, and on the right, we have our tachometer with the mileometer or the odometer inside. Right here, between all of them, we have a small screen which displays various things, I believe. It's various lights and everything. We have a cigarette lighter and our 5-speed manual transmission. To the side here, we have our handbrake. Doesn't work, and this is very loosely fitted on here. I think it needs some clips. Our cup holders are between the seats, and they're very peculiar because they're quite annoying if you try to reach for anything here. And that's the theme with this car. Everything is very strangely positioned. The mirror controls are here, which I like. The door handles up here, which I like. But the window switches, they're back here, which you have to really look for them over here. And the door lock, forget about it. It's like the door handle in an MG Midget. Overall, it's actually an okay interior. The passenger side, all you got is a glove box here. The seat is broken, so it doesn't clip into place on the passenger side, and the driver's seat has a small tear in the side over here. But for the amount of mileage that this car has, how much does it have? Let's take a look. Solstice, 336,376 miles. Incredible. And I think she's got more to go. The car does sound very good as well. So what's the plan with this car? Well, before I tell you, let's go take a look at my current daily driver. So this is my current daily driver. It's a 1974 MG Midget 1275 that I've been driving for about a year and a half daily. And it's a fantastic car, perfectly reliable. I rarely break down, and when I do, I can fix it on the side of the road. However, last winter was sheer terror because this car is really light and rear-wheel drive, so it likes to slide all over the place. I bought an Aztek for last year mainly, but I had to use this because the Aztek was so bad. That one kept breaking down. It kept breaking down and I could not use it. I had to use this, and well, I don't want to repeat that this year. So I'm going to be using the Solstice. The MG is a fantastic daily driver for this kind of weather. It's October though, and winter's coming. Last year, I had a Pontiac Aztek, which didn't end well, to be honest. This year, I was hoping to use that Porsche over there, the 924, but it's just not coming along quickly enough. It needs too much work. This came up for sale, dirt cheap, and I went, yeah, sure. So this is what I'm going to use, and I'll sell it in the springtime because it's probably, once I get it fixed up a bit, it's probably worth about $2,500 to $3,000. I paid $1,000 for it. So there we go. 2007 Pontiac Solstice, another one clicked off the dream car list. Let's see how many more we can get off that list. Thanks for watching.